What's going on, everybody? My name is Bendy, and this is Disney Heroes. So, today, we have a new month of Arena and Coliseum to talk about. This month it seems pretty basic. There's not a whole lot to talk about yet again for like third month in a row. There's probably not going to be a very long video. The rule for this month is pretty interesting with the 4 bear traps starting out on the field. I don't think it's going to affect too much, but there's definitely a few things that you can either do to take advantage of it or to help you deal with the stun that is going to be coming from those bear traps. But I'll get into that in a little bit. But first, I have 2 quick announcements before I get started. One, our first tier list is out, the one that we made together last week. Hope you guys like it. I tried to make it as clean and clear as I possibly could, so definitely let me know how you guys think it is. If you want to see it for yourself, it is on the Disney Heroes mobile Reddit, as well as the forums and the Disney Heroes Facebook group. Feel free to share it with anybody or put it wherever you want. The tier list is for everybody to see. I don't care if you share it, take screenshots of it, or whatever. That is for you guys. Second announcement. I'm only going to say this once, and these Arena Coliseum videos kind of get pretty decent amount of views compared to some of my other ones, so I figured now was a good time as any. In the description of all of my most popular videos and every video coming up from now on, I have a PayPal donation link, because if you don't know, I make literally no money from any of my videos that I've made so far, because I am not monetized on YouTube yet, as you need 1,000 subscribers to be monetized on YouTube. So if you want to go the extra mile and support what I'm doing, I would absolutely hugely appreciate it. Obviously, zero pressure. You don't have to do anything at all, but the option is there if you really like what I'm doing here. And there's no login required for it. It's just literally a PayPal donation link thing. Okay, so now that that's out of the way, let's get started. So as I kind of already said, the rule for April is going to be that there is 4 bear traps that stun the enemies for 10 seconds when walked on that start at random locations on the battlefield. I'm assuming there's going to be 4 bear traps on both sides of the field, but it's kind of unclear, so it might only be on your side of the field. Like I said, I don't think this is going to affect a whole lot, but there's definitely a few things that can take advantage of this or help you deal with it, so I'll be getting into that in just a minute. The bonuses for this month is earn bonus points for all true damage dealt, and also earn bonus points for damage dealt in general, which does not include damage over time. So pretty basic. I have a list that if you're on the Reddit, it's on this post. You can see the picture that I put up on the Reddit. There's only actually 8 heroes that have true damage currently, although there might be a few more coming with the yellow rank coming next week, so there may be more added to this list, but for now there's only 8 heroes. So yeah, there's really not a whole lot of ways to get this true damage bonus, but I think this damage dealt in general one is going to be pretty decent for everybody. Anyways, let's start with the true damage. So obviously, as you probably know, Wasabi is the king of true damage. He does literally all true damage with all of his moves, except for his basic attack, but whatever. He does an absolutely ridiculous amount of damage in general, and he's very difficult to defend against because 1, he's so fast, and 2, the fact that he does true damage makes it so it's very difficult to defend, since true damage ignores reality and armor when it's doing its damage calculation. I'm predicting that Wasabi is just going to be the absolute MVP of this month with his ridiculous damage output and the fact that he does all true damage. The next one that I think is also going to be the MVP this month is going to be Evil Queen for a couple of reasons. 1, her green skill does true damage, so she does true damage, and 2, Evil Queen also deals 200% more damage to stunned enemies. So that means when the enemies go over the bear trap, assuming it goes on the enemy side of the field, she's going to be dealing 200% more damage to them. And in addition to that, with her Gaston disc, Evil Queen gains skill power each time an enemy is stunned, and this gets carried over from wave to wave, so this would be pretty helpful in Coliseum. And also, with the stars, she also reduces the amount of time that her allies are stunned. It's just going to help against those bear traps as well. So Evil Queen, I think, is also going to be the other MVP of this month. So Wasabi and Evil Queen are going to be very good for you in Arena and Coliseum this month. Everybody else that does true damage, there is 5 others. The next one down that I think is also going to be pretty good is Ham, because his white skill does true damage with the laser that goes across the field. So that's also going to be very good, very strong, because that laser move is ridiculous. That's going to be super good. Also, the OG true damage dealer is Stitch with his blue skill, the 626 Scuffle. That does quite a bit of damage, not quite as much as probably these other 3 that I mentioned before. Also, with the Mad Hatter disc, Stitch bites all enemies with the blue skill, so he'll be able to deal even more true damage for you with this disc. The next one that has true damage I'm kind of going in order here from like best to worst, since there's just so few anyway, so I figured I might as well. But Maui, his white skill does true damage. Maui is a pretty weak hero overall, but just the fact that he has some true damage is pretty cool. Next, we have Rocketeer. Now, Rocketeer doesn't do any true damage with his skills, but if you read his Captain Amelia disc, after Rocketeer has not performed a basic attack for 5 seconds, he deals 5% of the max HP of enemies he hits as true damage. And also, Rocket Punch, which is his green skill, deals additional true damage to all enemies hit. Probably not the best true damage for you overall, but definitely there. Next, we have Queen of Hearts, who deals true damage with her blue skill every 4 basic attacks with the playing cards that run across the field. I believe that's how this works. And also, on top of that, with the Resk Friend disc, Off With Their Head deals extra true damage, and it just does even more damage the further they were knocked back by the skill. So that's kind of cool. And the last one that has any true damage on him is going to be Donald Duck with his Anchor disc. When Donald falls below 50% of his max HP, his basic attacks deal 30% of his basic damage as bonus true damage. So this could probably add up quite a bit if you have his basic attack pretty high up. He does have fairly high basic attack, especially once you have his red skill because it gets a nice boost, but that's literally everybody that has true damage in this game. I've pretty much went through everybody. I don't think I missed any. I think there's literally only 7. So there's not a whole lot of options for you dealing true damage this month. But like I said, Evil Queen and Wasabi are pretty much going to be the MVPs this month, I think, as well as Ham. The 3 of them are definitely going to be your best bets if you want to get the true damage bonus. So now we're going to go back to the bear traps a little bit. There's several ways that you can either take advantage of the bear traps or help yourself against them. So first thing I wanted to point out is going to be Huey, Dewey, Louie, or HDL, as the cool kids say. They are obviously the bear trappers in this game. That's what they do. That's their thing. So the first thing is with their purple skill, they gain skill power every time an enemy is stunned. So if you have Huey, Dewey, Louie on your team, they're just going to be gaining more and more skill power as your enemies fall onto the bear traps. And also with their red skill, enemies that are damaged by a bear trap, I think this also applies to the bear traps at the beginning of the wave. Enemies will lose basic damage and armor for 12 seconds, and this stacks up to 4 times. So they can be a pretty cool little way to take advantage of the bear traps that are already on the field in addition to theirs. It could be a cool little combo that you could play with, so that's an option for you guys. As I already said before, Evil Queen does 200% more damage to stunned enemies, so when your enemies fall on the bear traps, she's going to be dealing 200% more damage to them. Also, similar to Evil Queen, Eve's purple skill, she deals 100% more damage to disabled enemies, so anytime your enemies fall on the bear traps, she's going to be dealing 100% more damage to them. Eve is one of the weakest heroes in the game, so I don't know how much help she's going to be, but I just wanted to show you guys that that was a thing. So those are the 3 heroes that can kind of take advantage of the stun or disable that your enemies have from the bear traps. Now we have Gerald, who, with their red skill, is immune to all stuns while Gerald is on the rock. I don't know how much this is going to come into play because I don't really think Gerald and Nemo move at all. I don't think they're going to be really tripping over the bear traps at all, so I don't really know how much of an advantage you're going to be able to take with this, but just so you know, they are immune to stuns while Gerald is on the rock. So the final thing I wanted to bring up is the fact that there is 5 or 6 heroes that are able to either cleanse themselves or cleanse their allies of the stun that the bear trap gives. I'll start with the ones that only do themselves, and then I'll move on to the ones that do it to their allies, because they're the better ones. But Rex is the first one with his red skill. The first time he gets KO'd, he's able to cleanse all debuffs and kind of revive himself. That's kind of probably the worst one of the bunch. I guess if Rex dies really quickly, it could help, but there's not a whole lot of scenarios where that's going to help you. The next one is going to be Ralph. Whenever he uses his purple skill, he's going to be able to cleanse himself of all debuffs, and he gains 3 stacks of Hardy, which will further block more disables from coming his way. This is a pretty decent one. It's a little bit better than Rex, but Ralph is a very weak hero, so I don't know if anybody really uses him ever, but it's a thing. And then the last one, which I think might be the most usable of the 3, is Hank. With their purple skill, is able to, anytime Hank and Dory are disabled, for every 8 seconds they can just forget that it's there. This one's probably the most useful of the bunch as far as removing the stun from themselves. And then now we have 3 heroes that are able to cleanse their teammates of all debuffs. The first one, which I think is the worst one of the bunch, is Alice. With her red skill, anytime she uses Eat Me, which is her white skill, she removes 4 disables with the longest remaining durations from allies. So this isn't guaranteed to work on the stun from the bear traps, but especially if, say, she starts with more energy from a teammate that gives energy, she could be using her white skill very quickly and just get rid of the stun from the bear trap. Next, we have Rapunzel with her red skill. Makes it so that healing hair also cleanses all debuffs from allies, but this can fail. This is pretty decent, I think. I take advantage of this a lot myself. I think it's very viable this month to get rid of the bear traps that are going to be on the field at the beginning of the fight. And the last hero I wanted to mention is Kevin Flynn, who has two things. One, with his white skill, he's able to cleanse all negative status effects, which include disables, debuffs, anything with his white skill, so that's cool. He also has energy that he gives himself with his Baymax disc, so he's able to get his white skill out very quickly. And the second thing that makes Kevin Flynn kind of cool for this is that he has full immunity to all disables, so he can go on the bear trap, but he's not going to be hit by them at all. So that's kind of cool. But like I said, I don't think the bear traps are going to make a whole lot of difference overall. Evil Queen is probably going to be the best for taking advantage of the bear traps, but overall, I don't think the bear traps are going to be that great. There's pretty much no heroes that do true damage. There's only 8 of them. It's going to be pretty tough, I think, to get good bonus points this month. But I mean, with just damage dealt in general, you could probably just go in with your heavy damage dealers and just get a pretty decent amount of points. So that's going to be it. I know I didn't have a whole lot to say, but hopefully this helps somebody out there. If you like this video, if you like what I'm doing with this channel, definitely give me a like, subscribe. If you want to go the extra mile, give me a donation. The link is in the description. I would absolutely hugely appreciate it. Alright, I'm done asking for money. I hate asking for money, so done with that. Yeah, so that's gonna be it. Peace. Neutron is almost 3 million. Holy shit. Evil Queen is now the new background for the really good category. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Fuck them all. I love poo.